NASA has scrubbed next week's Artemis 1 rocket launch due to weather because of Hurricane Ian. Ian became a hurricane overnight and is expected to hit Florida's coast later this week. It is the third delay in the past month for the lunar orbiting test flight. Now, if the rocket remains on the pad, NASA could try for an October 2nd launch attempt. That would be the last opportunity before a 2-week blackout period. Now, that's not all we're tracking in our skies. NASA also planning a historic move later tonight.
Yes, this is kind of wild. They plan to send a spacecraft to collide with a small asteroid. Doug Luzader joining us from Washington, D.C. this morning. And Doug, this really is like something out of a movie.
Good morning. And just to be clear, this asteroid is not going to hit the Earth. It's not even on track to do that. But this is kind of a practice session for NASA to see if they could deal with a potential threat. What did this rock in space ever do to us? Well, nothing. But NASA will try to smash into it today regardless.
Whenever we talk about asteroids and the potential risk to our planet, we think of science fiction. We think of Bruce Willis and Armageddon.
Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and DART.
Last November, almost a year ago, NASA launched a mission called DART. In just hours and millions of miles away from Earth, the refrigerator-sized spacecraft should steer itself directly into a small asteroid called Dimorphos that's orbiting an even larger one. It's an experiment to see if that kind of strategy can change the direction of something that weighs about 11 billion pounds.
Neither of these asteroids are headed towards Earth, but we are testing to see if you can make impact with an asteroid and change its trajectory in case we ever do find an asteroid headed towards Earth.
Because at the end of the day, the real question is, how effectively did we move the asteroid, and can this technique of kinetic impact be used in the future if we ever need it to?
And if all goes as planned, this point-of-view animation shows the final images that DART will ever see.
The first test is the test of our ability to build an autonomously guided spacecraft that will actually achieve the kinetic impact on the asteroid.
Now, we should know pretty quickly later today whether, in fact, this spacecraft has hit its mark. It will take a little bit longer, though, to determine if, in fact, the path of this asteroid has changed as a result. Back to you guys.
And Doug, is there going to be a sort of second opportunity for them to test this, or is it a one and done?
Well, look, they've got to hit this thing. Otherwise, it's going to be a couple of years before they'd have the opportunity to do it again.
Right. Doug Luzader from Washington, D.C., thank you so much.